Revelation 3380. From the 26th of December 1944. Eruptions. Natural forces. Divine order. An event is in the making which was planned from the very beginning, which is based on God's will and will be caused by human will, but without the knowledge of the consequences of what people have devised. The point in time is coming ever closer when forces, which were set free through human will unite and, in unison, accomplish something with God's permission, who carefully weighs up cause and effect and will support the spiritually immature forces when they come under pressure by human actions. Nothing in the universe happens without God's will or permission. As soon as the higher development of the spirits in the works of creation is prevented, God will give these spirits the right and the strength to defend themselves, and this will happen in a way that inconceivably powerful forces will begin to develop and rage by destroying the most solid matter and create chaos in order to avenge themselves for their interrupted process of development. What will take place inside the earth as a result of destructions and annihilations through human will, shall very shortly become evident, for the eruptions which are inexorably in the making will break out with such force that people cannot possibly imagine it as yet. Any violation of the divine order is to the detriment of the human race and the earthly creations, because the purpose of God's law is the preservation or orderly development of what He has created. If this law is counteracted, it will result in a dissolution or termination of that which was created, yet to the horror of those who do not respect the divine law. To those humans who, being distant from God, no longer value anything that had emerged from the divine order, and people have reached such a low degree of maturity that they abandon themselves to the powers of darkness and comply with whatever these demand of them. They destroy creations in their blind hatred against their neighbor, and even the still banished spiritual substance is outraged, because it does not consider the unlawful liberation from its former relief and so rages and runs riot in its freedom. Human will penetrates deep into the realm of the spiritual substance which is still at the beginning of its development, and this will take revenge. It is an act of huge spiritual turmoil which only seldom is permitted by God to the extent it will manifest itself. The activity of these forces will only last for a short time, yet it will cause inconceivable damage. God will banish the spiritual substance again which had liberated itself and thus prevent it from further raging and running wild. Nevertheless, He will grant it its freedom for as long as it is necessary to motivate the survivors to change their way of thinking. For it is the purpose of God's permitted work of destruction that they will recognize the sin of their violation against the divine order and try to improve themselves. For everything that will happen is merely a means to regain the spiritual beings which strive away from Him. It is an admonition and indicator to God's omnipotence and, although not recognized, a confirmation of divine love, which wants to help those people who have gone astray in the deepest depths of vice and wickedness. Amen.